Good morning, students. Let's begin with the remaining part of the chapter. Chapter 4, Colonialism, Tribal Societies and Industries. In previous chapter, we have learned tribals of India, changes in tribal society, tribal revolts, important tribes who revolted, revolts in the Chotanagpur region, revolts in the northeast. Let's begin with industries. What is industry? An industry is a sector that produces goods or related service within an economy, such as manufacturing industries, textile industries, tire industries, etc. Contribution of industrial sector in India. The industrial sector massively contributed to the economic growth of a country. It generates huge employment opportunities, earn foreign revenues by exporting manufactured goods. India has been one of the largest exporter of textile. Textile industry before British arrival. Prior to the arrival of British, craftsmen were organized in shrenis, each with its own rules and regulations. They had close ties up with the merchants who made enormous profit by selling their goods. Towns such as Surat, Musalipatnam, and Vishakhapatnam became famous trading centers. Dhaka, Bhuj, and Madurai developed as specialized center for fine textile. Commercial policy of the British. Effects of commercial policies. As per the Charter of 1813, East India Company's monopoly came to an end and Indian trade was open to all British subjects. As a result, the Indian market was flooded with imported goods. Indian handicrafts had to face stiff competitions with the influx of British goods, which were exempted from import duties. Deindustrialization. Under the company's rule, Indian handicraft industry, especially the textile industry, declined steadily. This process of destruction of the indigenous industries is known as deindustrialization. A vast majority of craftsmen were forced to give up their livelihood and look for alternative employment as landless laborers on farmland or as workers. Apart from draining resources, the British also amassed wealth in various forms to finance their administrative expenses and industries. Major impact of these policies. Unequal competition started between cheap machines made goods and expensive Indian handicrafts. Before the British came to India, the Indian rulers and nobles used to give substantial patronage to Indian handicraft, but after arrival of British Empire, the patronage was largely reduced and, in many cases, even absent. One of the major objectives of British in India was to fulfill the continuous demand of raw materials for British industries. It ultimately led to paucity of raw material for Indian industries. British imposed heavy custom duties on Indian aircraft, handicrafts and goods, making them economically inviable. Growth of modern industries. The Feminine Commission of 1980 and 1901 recommended revival of Indian industries. The demand of National Congress led to the establishment of Imperial Department of Commerce and Industries in 1905. The Swadeshi movement, which advocated use of indigenous goods, also encouraged Indian industries. British helped in establishing some mechanized industries in India which catered to their imperial interests. As a brief overview of some of these industries which developed during this period is as follows. The Bengal Coal Company was established in 1843, remained confined to Bengal and Bihar, where more than 100 coal mines by the end of 19th century employing lakhs of workers. Plantation industry received a boom as a tea became the favorite drink of the western world. The tea gardeners in Assam, Bengal and South India increased their production by 10 times, and coffee, chinchona and rubber were other items in the plantation industry. Jute industry. Jute industry developed in the middle of 19th century. The first jute mill was established in Rishra near Kolkata. Soon Kolkata became the hub of jute industries. Sugar industry. Sugar industry developed in the early 20th century. India became the largest sugar producing country in the world. Iron and steel industries such as Tata and Steel Company in Bihar established in 1911 with the help of Indian capital and enterprises. However, iron production increased only after independence. Let's see the silent feature of Indian industrialization. Unbalanced industrial growth. The establishment of industry was not uniformly carried out throughout India. It was limited to certain types of industries and specific cities. Negligent growth of basic industries. The British established industries with the objective of making immense profit by buying cheap raw materials, paying low wages, etc. They took no interest in developing the basic industries such as the iron and steel industries. Discrimination against Indian industries. The industries were discriminated against and not given proper protection. They had to face stiff competition from the British industries. Hence, the Indian industrialists were demanded a protectionist policy. Lack of heavy industries. The Indian economy lacked heavy or capital industries, thereby making the industrialization process loop-sided. Difficulties in obtaining loans and license. The government attitude toward Indian industrialists was very hostile. The government followed a free trade policy which favored foreign industrialists. New social stratification. New social stratification. Indian society was divided into two distinct classes, the capitalist and the worker. Mass-scale migration of farmers to cities. Due to frequent famine, excessive land revenue demanded, many farmers were forced to give up their land. They migrated to cities such as industrial workers. Thus, there was a demographic change. Finally, last, development of infrastructure. In the 19th century, the British started developing infrastructure in India. They built a network of roads, railways, and canals for better movement of goods and raw materials throughout the country. That's all for today. Have a good day. Have a nice day.